Yo, real quick, I want to shout out everybody on Patreon in the extra value meals section. We got Paul Francisco, Trevor Diep, Philip Savoy, Marquise Mateo, Noe Jeremio, Sheldon Jackson, Tessie King, Raziel Abenze, Jr., Lee, Luis Seijo, and Nelson Vargas. And big old sexy shout out to the big bosses in the secret menu tier. Cortland Harris, Victor Espiritu, Alva Musics, Elijah Torres, Candice, Chancer Connor, and 2K. On the next episode, I'm gonna have a little like shout out from you guys because you guys are like the shit. All right, appreciate you guys. Five, four, three, two, one. What the hell is going on between the sheets in my home?
Baby, wait, let me explain before you start to pull your cane. Girl, I'm about to have a fit.
Oh, it's about to be some shit. How did I get into this? Should've never came home with this, baby.
Low down, dirty, warm on, back to where you come from.
But baby, wait.
But wait, my ass hit the street, your ass is grass. Now, Mr. Biggs, before you're done.
How you know my name, son?
Honey, wait, I was gonna tell you.
Wait,
Ooh, this cat look real familiar.
No.
Now, don't I know you from somewhere a long time ago?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I feel I know you, brother, very well.
No, you mistaken me for somebody else.
wait.
Shut up! Can't you see two men are talking? Thought I
Told your ass to get to walking. But I think I better leave this place.
Why?
Cause I'm about to catch a case. I did not think we were gonna do the whole thing.
Have to. You have to.
That was really
I want to keep going.
Oh man,
so
nah, we can't
your
do it.
impersonation was spot on.
That's my
so
shit, man.
good.
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to the No Chaser podcast. I'm Tim Chantarangsu.
I'm Ricky Shuck.
I'm Nikki Blades.
I almost said it with you right there.
You did.
I'm Nikki Blades. Almost bit my tongue. What's up, guys? How you feeling? How we feeling? How we doing?
Chilling.
I found a White Claw in the refrigerator.
Oh,
And I'm positive it was somebody's. Because there's only one.
There was only one. I went, ooh, White Claw, and I opened it. Didn't ask no questions.
go for a White Claw.
It's actually good.
I can't, the last time, look, not gonna lie, guys, full transparency here. When we shot that Truth or Drink with Tiff, when Tiff was here for the Halloween episode,
shit.
I got entirely too drunk afterwards, like way too drunk.
Show the fuck did.
Yeah, like the plan. Look, we were already. And here's what's funny, right? I said if you on Patreon and you can watch that Truth or Drink. But I sent it to Tiff and to Nikki Blaze to watch. I'm like, all right, y'all, here's the link if you want to watch it. Tiff was like, oh my God, I'm already so drunk.
I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to get my job that I want.
Yeah, it's pretty reckless. It's only on Patreon right now until Blaze gets her job. And then
I was like, please, I wrote and I was like, I don't think I'll get my job if you post this. Can we wait?
Yeah. It's waiting. It's chilling.
Okay, thank God.
And I was watching and I was like, I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. I can see myself getting there. And then we got some Peruvian food afterwards.
No.
What?
We got Peruvian food. You sat at the table. You didn't even eat anything.
I didn't eat.
No.
No wonder I didn't remember anything.
He did not eat. And I kept on trying to signal to you. Signal, hey, eat the food. And you were like,
See, okay, now that makes sense because we went to a delicious Peruvian restaurant.
Amazing, right?
And I didn't I was like, the next day, I was like, damn, I don't even remember what we ate. And so now I'm just finding out I didn't eat anything.
Let me tell you, they wanted to kick you out. And so I made nice with the owner and the waiter that was there. I got offered a job. Side note, they offered me a job to bartend there. And then, I was like, yeah, we can come back. And we talked about all of us going and they were super nice. So I gave my number. We're not allowed to go back there anytime soon.
No, we're good.
Nope, we're not allowed to go back anytime soon. Yeah,
I don't even know how that happened, to be honest. But it was one of those times I felt like
it was fun.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys want to eat there, I'll go pick up the food to go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't had really too much liquor since then, but I'll sip a little beer, sip a little wine. But speaking of wine and speaking of the blood and body of Christ, we have
I went through, hold on, side note. I also went through like 4 outfit changes to figure out what was going to feel comfortable and appropriate. Because at one point, I was like, listen, we're going to talk about God and titties in the same sentence if I wear one outfit. Then I was like, this is way too much going on with the other one. Rick was like, wear what you want. Then Tim's in pajamas. And I was like, you know what? Let's find a comfortable
It's
video.
perfect, man. God loves this podcast and God loves you. And God loves titties because he made them. And shout out to my guest. I love this man. Come on in, KevOnStage.
Yay! He's our first reoccurring guest.
KevOnStage.
Yeah.
You are the first guest. Well, back in the studio,
Yes,
repeat
in the studio.
studio guest.
Nice.
You know what, man? And that's just
So you get another chance to not suck this time.
please, if you can, that would be great.
I'll do my best.
Now, you know what? I was scrolling through Instagram and Twitter is what I usually do when I need to find a guest. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm like, who I might text to come through? Who do I actually legitimately might want to enjoy talking to? And then I seen you pop up on my timeline. You're a very consistent poster. And and I was like, man, Kev was on one of the very first episodes. So let's go ahead and bring him because I like you, man.
I like you, Tim.
Kev.
I don't come out for most people, but Tim, Chantarangsu,
Kev.
I'm coming out for Tim.
Have I ever said no to you?
Tim ain't turned me down. That's why I told my wife. She was like, "Where are you going?" I was like, "It's Tim's podcast." She was like, "Oh, I like Tim." So to save me a marriage argument there's few people who will save me a marriage argument because we were supposed to be doing something together at the moment.
Today?
Well, at the moment that I was leaving, she decided we should be doing something together.
Oh.
So it wasn't planned
Got it.
at the time. And I asked her, could I do, hey, Tim podcast? She was, oh, fine.
Yeah.
But you know, the time you ask and the time you leave the house are 2 separate times.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, so
I saw a commercial last night of you.
Spectrum.
I did. I saw
Switch
that
to
last
Spectrum,
night.
guys.
I get so happy.
saw that.
Every time I see
But
you.
don't call me if it does not work. It doesn't like after you switch, I can't do
I was
anything about it.
super excited. The person I was with, I was like, hey, we're going to have him on tomorrow. It's like the
Yeah.
guy on the bike. I said, no, we had him.
Tony?
Yeah, it was Tony. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you know, I make sure I'll tell Chia about some stuff before I leave the house. But then I make sure to, hey, don't forget, here's the plan for the day.
Yeah.
I'm leaving, and so work on that.
I did. I had it. What happened is our shoot got messed up. So by the time it was time to leave, our homies were at the house and it was like, oh, I got to go. And like leaving when people are just starting to kick it is the worst. But man, you got to be KevOnStage.
And you know what, Kev? It's like we have a whole new KevOnStage on the show because
Beard?
you got a beard.
I didn't have the beard last time?
No, man.
Over a year
No.
ago.
You had some beard.
He had some. It was.
Baby
It
beard.
wasn't
Yeah.
this.
No,
it was
the beard.
It was facial
You had
hair.
some beard.
Is this,
Yeah.
you got quarantine beard?
No, I actually was growing this before the quarantine.
So on purpose beard.
On purpose
This is
beard.
on purpose. He got beard. He got a
This was tried real
Maserati.
hard.
Maserati.
Maserati, a beard.
Tim had a
Little taller.
Maserati.
I did have a Maserati for a time. Yep.
I was like, man, Tim, you had the convertible.
No. I had a convertible Audi, and then the Maserati was a regular. It was.
So many luxury cars, dude, Rick. I know. They just blend into each other.
Well, I'm glad to have you back, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you guys for having me. It's great.
Did you hear my intro? to
I
you?
did.
Okay.
I did. I was laughing. The dude shooting, he was laughing. We were all having a good time.
Oh, real quick, it reminded me of this meme that I saw. It was a girl. She was texting Jesus, right? and then Jesus, and then she sent Jesus nudes, and then she was like, Jesus, okay, now send me, where's mine at? And he sent her a picture of bread. She was like, why'd you send me bread? He's like, that's the body of Christ.
That's ridiculous. What a stretch of a joke, but so funny.
Oh, but it's great.
No, it's fucking awesome.
Oh my gosh. That is funny.
That is funny.
Was it like a baguette? Was it
Baguette.
Baguettes always be in movies. Every time they come from the grocery store, it's always
Always
the
a
baguette.
damn
sticking
baguette.
out of the
with,
bag.
with the lines.
Don't nobody
Yes.
get the sliced bread.
No one ever gets regular bread in movies, only baguette.
No
But they never
Hawaiian
do
bread.
anything with it.
Yeah, no.
They just bring in lettuce. They always have lettuce at the
Ahead.
top.
Lettuce, baguette, and oranges.
and tomatoes, like really, really nice tomatoes.
Right,
Yeah.
because I feel like when you got a baguette, it's such a specific thing you're making. You're either making cold cuts or you're
Or you're dipping it in some sort of soup.
Or they do like the loaf of sourdough. Have you guys ever bought a loaf of bread and had to cut it yourself?
I've seen a loaf of sourdough in real life, and it's not what it looks like. I've never done it. It's hard too.
Really? Either one of you?
no.
Wow.
But I have bread knives, so I could do it.
Do
Yes.
you really? That's an adult purchase.
My chick is the color.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I got
okay.
no
It's
choice.
it's really good. If you ever have to have like the dips and stuff, you get the bread and it's better. You can cut it yourself, but you can actually buy the bread, take it to the bakery, and they'll cut it for you.
Hey, what's up, y'all? You know, there's nothing like that Friday feeling. The weekend is coming up. Personally, me and wifey like to just chill, do some laundry, catch up on Netflix shows. We're watching Lovecraft Country right now. But now you don't have to wait for that to happen once a week, because with award-winning wine from First Leaf, any day can feel like Friday, okay? First Leaf is a wine club that sends personalized selections of wine from top vineyards around the world directly to you, because the only thing better than one fantastic bottle of wine is a whole case of award-winning wine that shows up at your doorstep, okay? Unlike other wine clubs, First Leaf uses an algorithm and your feedback to curate future wine recommendations. Subscriptions are flexible and shipments arrive on your schedule with practically zero effort, okay? I like, maybe every few weeks. I'm the only one sipping wine in the house now. Chia's pregnant, she can't sip like that, so I'm not going through the whole case as fast as we normally would, but it works out perfectly. Plus, First Leaf is a much more affordable way to enjoy wine from top winemakers and vineyards. It's great because sometimes I don't really know which wines to pick. So this way I can tell them what I like, what kind of flavors I like. I like the red, I like the white. I like a nice little red. Pair that with my Hello Fresh meal when they send a little steak situation. Fire. And what are you waiting for? Get that Friday feeling like I do any day with First Leaf. Join today and you'll get 6 bottles of wine for $29.95. Just go to tryfirstleaf.com/nochaser. That's 6 bottles of wine for $29.95 at tryfirstleaf.com/nochaser. Boom. All right, we all know that 2020 isn't playing by any of the usual rules, and that goes for holiday shopping too. You got crowded ass malls, you got parking lots, the mess and stress of in-store shopping. It's crazy, okay? But our friends over at Movement MVMT watches have made gifting easy. MVMT Movement makes clean and modern watches, blue light glasses, and accessories. Getting great quality and style doesn't have to break the bank. Their Black Friday sale is live right now, so you can get ahead of your holiday shopping with their biggest sale of all time. They got watches. Their watches feel like $405 watches, but for a fraction of the price. They're durable, great quality, and are designed in-house out of their Los Angeles headquarters. Option 2, you got blue light glasses. Movement's Everscroll blue light filtering glasses are a personal favorite of mine, with lenses that protect your eyes from long hours in front of your screens, because Lord knows I'm on my phone and I'm on my laptop all day. They come in tons of fashion-forward styles to choose from, so it's lit. And option number 3, gifting. Movement has this super sleek matte black packaging. Just add a bow and you're good to go. Check out Movement's biggest sale of the year with fast free shipping and free returns by going to mvmt.com/nochaser, okay? That is mvmt.com/nochaser. I was gonna
That's
say,
information I didn't know.
Yeah.
my mom would buy the full out those breads, and she would make garlic bread out of them.
So good.
And they were really good.
Nice.
Hell of a conversation.
I love how we are on, you know what, baguette.
Right.
Now we need to rank bread. Okay,
Right.
sourdough, rye's out.
Has
Rye is
anybody
out.
ever had rye? I feel like that's a New York thing.
Rye only works in the doggone Gardettos as the little rye
Oh,
chip.
so good. That's what it is.
That's hilarious.
Wait. That's rye?
It's a dad joke. That's rye.
I did not know either.
I love those.
They're so good.
I want the little brown things.
That leads the league in Gardettos. That's first pick
So
off the
good.
board.
What's a Gardetto?
The little like it's
The
like
bag
Chex
is
Mix.
The elevated Chex Mix.
Oh.
And then they have the brown, which is rye, which I didn't know. And you can
That's
get,
not a pepperoni.
Right.
Fucking weird.
and then you can
Rye
just get a
chips.
bag of just those.
That's too much though.
I love it still.
It's too hard for me.
You know what? For some reason, I don't care.
Yeah.
You go the whole bag?
I love them.
Really?
I do.
Because in the regular bag, you get like 8 or 10, and you're like, okay, that's cool.
But I'm spending
like
most of my
20?
time. Yeah, I spend
you
most
be
of my time
looking
trying
for
to. Yeah.
Oh, you talking about the little black things in the Chex Mix
Yeah.
things? Yes. Okay. I was very confused.
You
for
were
a second.
still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
We was on to another
I,
thing.
I think I've never heard the actual name of
Gardettos?
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't realize. I think I would just always see the mix and I knew what I liked. I just didn't
Yeah.
know what the actual
Yeah,
name was.
so yeah, that's a brand.
Ah.
Gardettos is a brand.
Yeah.
It's like Chex Mix.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I like the little
But
black
Gardettos don't have checks in them.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a
Okay.
it's a strong choice from them.
Yeah.
They really had to separate themselves from Chex.
Really do.
Yeah.
Next level.
Well, hey man.
To be clear, the round thing is not a Gardetto.
And it's not black.
No, the
It's rye
Gardetto
bread.
is what's on. Oh, that's rye bread.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we were talking about. See,
What?
I knew you missed that part. I knew it.
You were like,
I had
let's
to
just
go
go
back
back.
to my dog and let him know what was going on.
Rick said, I'm not leaving you behind, babe. Let's go. Come here. Grab my hand. Take my hand.
Gardettos is the brand.
Interesting.
The brown thing is apparently rye bread, fried and dried, I guess.
What?
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Wow.
Now that Tim doesn't know, I'm like, maybe I should Google it just to make sure.
No, I don't.
Tim doesn't know a lot of
I don't
things.
be knowing.
You really?
things. I know a lot of things, but I also don't know a lot of things.
I can see that.
I be killing Jeopardy.
Oh, I love
I feel
Jeopardy.
so. Do you know that Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's pointing at the TV? That's me on Jeopardy.
Bruh.
When you get 6 out of 48 questions, you're like, I should have been on.
Oh, I say that every episode. And here's what's funny though, right? Because like useless information like that, I'm great with. I
Yeah.
retained it, watched a lot of TV growing up. That was just my shit. Chia is a great, like, she is a like street smarts, common sense ass person, knows how to put things together, plan things. But when Jeopardy is on and I'm answering questions, she's like, why do you know that? She's so
Genius.
confused.
Why do you know so much about tangerines? What the fuck?
Bruh, she be in
Love.
shock.
Oh, man.
Love Jeopardy.
Jeopardy's great.
So good.
That's how I knew I was washed. Me and my wife watched Jeopardy for like 3 hours, and I was like, "This is it, man.
He was into it.
You're in love."
Aaron Burr.
Or when you miss one and you're like,
Ah,
I knew it.
Tanzania.
Tanzania. Why was Tanzania the same?
both just say
We just said
fucking
Tanzania.
wild.
What?
What is the chance of everything in the world?
Tanzania.
We could have both thought Tanzania is what we should have known.
I am mind blown.
Okay, now I believe in Jesus.
Yes.
That's all it took.
Oh,
God, it's
man.
Wow. Yes. There's no such thing as
Stop doing
coincidence.
bad things.
Oh.
Wow.
It was the third outfit change that did it. Oh, I knew it was my time. Oh.
Yeah, what a coincidence. Tanzania, Tasmanian devil.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
See how quickly that works?
There you go. I was gonna ask you because somebody from Patreon asked a question for you that I actually was curious about as
Sure.
well. Because you're like you're we're making all these jokes, but that's that's like your brand. People know you like you're the religious comedian, right? And I think and sometimes I feel like when people are super religious, they can have issues with
Oh yeah.
like jokes or not. Here's the thing. I think sometimes it's like there's a lot of things that people see as wrong, even though it's never been said to be wrong. You feel me? Like I was like I've told the story of it when I went to that all black church, all male black church, thinking I was gonna meet girls that day, but but I remember that day the pastor like told like a somewhat. It wasn't a sexual joke, but it was a dirty joke. Like, and something. The punchline had something to do with a penis or something like that. And I remember thinking, oh, like somebody could feel like this isn't allowed. But then I remember, but also like it wasn't a dirty sexual joke. It was just like a joke regarding body parts, and that's not like a sinful thing, you know?
Right.
But I think people can associate that and they draw this line. And then when someone like you who kind of like, you're making jokes and, for them, it crosses and blurs this line, and they don't know how to act. You know?
Absolutely. It's two things. It's a sacred cow. Like, this is my thing, and therefore it is very important to me, and it should not be made fun of. And the other part is, if Rick's a pastor, right, and he falls down, it's funny. Right, because he's just somebody else's pastor. But if Rick is your pastor, it's not fun anymore because that's my pastor, and he's this but he fell, and people falling down is funny. So
bad people.
Yeah, oh my God,
I love it.
So that's what happens a lot of times. And the thing about comedy is the line is relative to who you are and where you are in life, because even where I am now isn't where I was 10, 15 years ago or 20 years ago. So I allow people to be mad. I get it. Right. And I also feel like if nobody's pissed off, it probably isn't that funny. Because if I'm making everybody laugh, it's probably safe, and then everybody's probly not laughing.
Yeah, Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
It's probably safe, or it's really just basic.
Yeah. So I'm like, bro, I'm gonna do what I think is funny. I try not to cross my personal line.
Right.
And that line's kind of changing, and then I let the chips fall where it may.
You know,
that was a joke, Kevin Hart.
Have you ever heard somebody's joke and thought it was too far?
Here's the thing. The comedy I laugh at out loud in public is different from the comedy I laugh at in my group chat. What I say at home, I would not necessarily make that joke or laugh at that joke. So I like a lot of different types of comedy. Some super dark. I mean, whew,
if somebody saw you laugh, they'd be like,
they would be surprised. They would be surprised. So I feel like with comedy, there's no such thing as too far, too soon. That's relative to who you are, but that cannot be your type of comedy. You know what I'm saying? So comedy is very subjective, like music. So there's comedians who are like, here's the line, I'm going to be 1,000 feet on the other side of that. I wouldn't make that joke. I don't think that joke is funny, but a comedian should be allowed to make that joke, and you should be allowed to hate him. You know what I mean? Like, there's a comedian, Ari Shaffir, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, he made a joke about Kobe, and he thought that was hilarious. And he's allowed to make that joke, and we're allowed to say, I'm finna fight you.
Yeah.
Like, people are like, I will personally beat you up.
Yeah.
Right. So you're gonna lose. Yeah. You're gonna lose some stuff. Because of that.
Right.
It's like the your right to free speech.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean you freedom from consequences.
Right.
You can say whatever you want, but then you also have to deal with the consequences.
You just have to know.
And people forget, whenever people want to criticize you online, right? And you tell them that, no, you're stupid, right?
Yeah.
And then they will always be like, oh, I have my right to my opinion. I'm like, yes, and my opinion about your opinion is that you're stupid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they never understand that.
Right.
People on the internet think opinions stop at theirs.
Right.
Yeah.
So no. I'm allowed to my opinion.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm allowed. No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the proof that Kev might laugh at things he might not necessarily tell in his in public. Kev is a big fan of my videos.
Love. Love. I used to watch your videos before you were married. I was like, I don't know how he gets away with it. I would I watched your stuff on a privacy screen at my job when I was supposed to be working.
at my church.
And I was like, this guy, his girlfriend be allowing this.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I like a lot of different stuff, and that's how Christian. There's so many Christian people who and I feel like that's what makes it hard for it to be, us to welcome people in, because you want, the person you really are when you're not on social media is different than the person you portray. And regular people probably would be more cool with Christianity if you were like, oh, actually, man, you watch Game of Thrones. I'd be like,
Yeah, I think we spoke about that last time, because I'm not very religious, but some things look like, I don't want to touch that. They don't want me at all. Then you hear other things are like, oh, you guys laugh too? Or we get that. And you feel a little bit more comfortable about being human.
Right.
Here's the thing too, right? When I was super into my church, and I was going to church, and did you know I was almost a youth pastor? Okay, so when I was I wasn't almost there. I was just approached to do that. But I remember, and I was trying to tell people, but you call yourself Christian, but you do this, and you laugh at this, and you say this. But I'm like, and I always tell people, look, man, it's not that I think I'm better than you. It's that, I'm acknowledging my flaws and I'm acknowledging that I want to be better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
all
really all
it
it is.
It's just like you have something, and whether that be God or your own morals from wherever, it's like that you hold yourself to a certain standard, right? And not everybody necessarily wants to do that.
Exactly.
And even though I don't go to church like I used to, I definitely hold the values I took from Christian school. Like I feel like those are what really built a foundation for who I am as a person.
Yeah.
And personally, I feel like God loves the penis jokes I make. I feel like God be cracking up, bro.
And that's the thing. Like I used to.
That's
had that
why I
same
made it look
thought.
like that. This guy gets it.
Bro, God made a platypus. He had to have a sense of
I
humor.
love that joke.
It's so like, come on, man. You had to be joking, man.
Yes.
Look at pugs. You think he was like, man, this would be hilarious.
He's like, oh, you look great.
Yeah.
Yes. He was
There we go.
he was willing to give them breathing problems.
Yeah.
for the joke.
He said, you.
It's gonna be worth it. It's gonna be worth it. Trust me.
He's like, here's a pug, here's a giraffe. We're gonna mush your face in and we'll throw you up there. Then you can
Literally.
you can walk on land and fly. You know what? You can
The
do all
visual
types
of
things.
God seeing a pug without the face mask in and being like, you know, it'd be hilarious. Now you're done.
Or
That's hilarious.
or he was doing this. He was making it, and someone said, "Guy," he said, "Huh?" Oh, but nah, I don't.
Well, I don't make no
I don't make
mistakes.
mistakes. Exactly. So yeah, take this one. Take this one. Take this one.
Oh,
You got a wolf sitting next to the pug, like, damn.
All right. So the question is for Kev. Do you ever? This is from Nicole Muse on Patreon. Shout out to Nicole Muse.
Nikki Muse.
Yeah. Do you ever get nervous to post reaction videos, like a fear of further embarrassing people or hurting their feelings? Recently, you reacted to Christian WAP.
My mother.
Christian WAP that this girl from my school made. And I swear I was even more ashamed of my university. Laugh, cry, laugh, cry, laugh, cry.
Yes, I do. I try to make my videos in a way that if I ever ran into this person, they'd have to be like, all right, you got me. You know, but everybody's not a comedian. And especially when someone is not joking.
Right.
Like they're like this one white girl tried to remake No Diggity. And she was like dead serious. Those are a little tougher.
Right.
But, you know, I kind of be like,
Yeah.
it is my duty. I am responsible. Like, and I don't let myself off the hook. You know, I don't, if it's a black person, if it's a white person, like I'm equally talking about everyone, including myself. But
you go in on yourself.
I go in on myself, but I try never to be malicious to strangers. I never go hard or call people ugly or, you know, fat or whatever. Like, but I will talk, like this one white girl recently, I did this video. She was talking about getting the vaccine, getting a Christian girl. She is dead serious.
Okay.
But I'm like, girl, you are being dramatic.
Oh, the one where it was a TikTok.
Yeah.
And it was like she gets the injection, but it says Mark of the Beast.
Yes. And then she like beat herself up. And it was just like, girl,
Yeah.
relax.
Yeah.
Like you really went into a full Easter play, you know, production for a TikTok. Chill out.
Yeah.
You know, so, and sometimes the other thing that people get mad about me is the titling. I was like, white girls are dramatic.
Okay.
And people, no, white girls. Aren't black girls dramatic? What about men? Gender bias. And it's just like,
Sounds
you
dramatic.
right. But if it was a black girl, I would have used the same title. But part of this job is creative captioning. Of
course.
If I just titled this one white girl is dramatic.
They don't get that by now?
No.
No.
Good
They
God,
don't.
no.
They don't.
Go look at the comments on a feminist page, and it's men hating on the feminist page. And like, go pick your own page.
Because I be trying to be safe with the captions and it goes nowhere.
No, there's no point.
You got to make people feel a way. They either hate it, love it, laugh hard, or be upset. But to feel nothing means the video
No
does
lyric
nothing.
titles, just quoting Drake songs.
Right.
Try to find your safe space.
Yeah, nah, man. He's part of the game.
Yeah.
You know, so, and hopefully I'm 6 foot and 250. So if you ever see me in the street, it's like, well, he's a lot taller than I thought in real life.
Yeah, and y'all should know I fight dirty. I will quickly gouge an eye and kick you in the balls.
Yeah.
If my life depends on it.
He's gonna do the gut and eyes move.
I was gonna ask you something. I really was too. You know how some people say that when they're just trying to think of something?
believe you, Tim.
I really was gonna say something.
Now I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
Keep talking until it comes back.
What's good, man? The holiday season is here, which means we're gonna be close, we're gonna be cuddling, which means you need to stop being funky and you need to start using native products, okay? And one thing I made sure to do was update my native collection with their candy cane holiday scent. Oh, how festive. Native is the perfect addition to your daily routine this holiday season. Native deodorants don't just block odor better, they're made better. Native has ingredients you've heard of like coconut oil and shea butter. It's also vegan and never tested on animals. And Native never uses ingredients that shouldn't be in deodorant like aluminum, parabens, sulfates, or talc. Their candy cane gift set also makes for a great gift option, and all Native products are great stocking stuffers for everyone on your list. And guess what? I'm hooking y'all up. Just go to nativedeo.com/nochaser or use promo code NOCHASER at checkout and get 20% off your first order. Now that's lit. Make sure you order before December 7th to get your products in time for Christmas. That's nativedeo.com/nochaser or use promo code NOCHASER. You little filthy McNasties. Oh, you guys already know it's cuffing season, which means it's get freaky deaky season. If you like sex, you'll love BlueChew.com. Blue Chew offers men a performance enhancement for the bedroom. Now, wouldn't you like to last longer and go extra rounds? You know I would, okay? At BlueChew.com, you can get the first chewables with the active ingredients sildenafil or tadalafil, which are the same active ingredients as in Viagra and Cialis. Oh my God, it's lit. Chewables can work faster than pills, up to twice as fast. It only takes a few minutes to connect with a BlueChew.com affiliated physician, and if you qualify, you get prescribed online quickly. Now, you know I've popped a couple Blue Chews in the past, and of course, wifey's pregnant, so obviously it's working okay. And when I'm talking about it, I'm talking about my penis. Thanks to BlueChew.com. The chewables from BlueChew.com are prescribed online by a doctor and made in the USA. Blue Chew gives you confidence in bed every time. You and your partner will love it, so chew it and do it. Here's a great deal for you guys. Visit BlueChew.com and get your first order free when you use promo code TIM. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BLUEChew.com, promo code TIM. KevOnStage is your name.
K-E-V.
K-E-V.
And the K comes
But
in the...
and Kevin.
And when you're not on
Kev
stage, you're
in stage?
Kev off stage.
All right, well, whatever. Let's just go to something else. So I noticed that your wife is doing a lot of content nowadays, right?
Yeah.
And but she wasn't trying to do that before.
No.
And now she's like, she got the podcast with you.
Mm-hmm.
They got
Stay copying us, dog.
man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, well, whose idea was that? Was that her idea, or were you like, hey, come do this with me? People love couples.
It wasn't as overt as that. But for her, it was a very arduous process to get her to be in front of the camera. Like a lot of people, she was completely cool not being a part of this at all.
Right.
She was working her regular job, and her dreams for herself never included entertainment. Mine always did. So what happened is,
I mean, with a last name like On Stage,
yeah.
how can you not?
It's just stage. His name's Kevon.
Oh,
Stage. Come
oh, come on.
So what happened is in church she used to teach, and she loved talking to women and teaching women and, you know, all that stuff. So the first thing that we did was the Love Hour, the podcast, but she liked the audio version. She's like, I don't want to have to always be pretty and just do it on the phone. So we used to hold the iPhone and usually, you know, record from the voice note thing. And, you know, then we stopped that, went on tour. So at first it was just that specific thing. And then she got laid off from her job. I felt like, I was like, you should quit. I told her, you're going to quit. You should quit and come on tour with me. She was like, okay, I'll quit. And then she was like, 2 weeks later, she was like, actually, I'll go part-time. So, you know, she'd work on like Tuesday and Wednesday, and we would fly out either Thursday night, come back Monday, and then she'd work, you know, 2 or 3 days. And then her job laid her off. And I was like, see, that was God. I told you to quit your job, and you didn't. Now everybody lost their job, and it's your fault. These people have, all these people on unemployment is your personal fault.
That's what you get.
Yeah. So, but what happened is at first, what she didn't like is feeling like everything that she did was attached to me.
Okay.
You know, like the Miss KevOnStage name, like I made that for her. And it wasn't like a branding thing. Like I was sitting there I made all my friends Facebook, I made all their Instagram. And her name is Melissa. I tried Lissa. Like everything I was doing was taken. And I tried Lissa Fred. That was taken. I was like, okay, Miss KevOnStage, she'll change it whenever she wants to. And that just never happened. So probably, honestly, Tim, like in the last 6 months, she was like, so first she was trying to copy me in the sense of like make content the way a comedian makes content. And it's very different than like a lifestyle influencer. Like she was like, I cannot be thinking about something to make every day. Like I need it. So she started looking at other lifestyle influencers and mommy influencers and being like, okay, I can do a photo shoot and that allowed me to plan my content. And, then she got some other ideas and dating shows. So once she found like her groove, then she started coming along to her own way. But I had stopped trying to force her because I'm like, this woman is a full adult woman. Like I wasn't going to get her to do it because I wanted her to. But she also was like, I'm not finna just let you make all this money and do all this and I'm not doing nothing. Like and there's a lot of women who've been like, you are killing it. And I'll take a Maserati. You know what I'm saying? Like
she's like, I'll be here with you. Yeah.
There's a lot of women like that. And she was like, no, I got to bring my own money.
That's a joke, baby.
So she set her own brand deal goals. Like, I want to make 100K without you.
Word.
Yes. Next for 2021, that's her goal.
Okay.
She went out and got her own management, reached out and found her own people.
Okay.
Makes her own stuff. Like she produces the podcast on her own. I'm like a co-host. But yeah, man, it was dope to watch her come into her own. Cause she has the propensity to be way bigger than me. She's more likable.
And she's so smart.
She's so smart. She's tiny.
She's like, tiny.
I don't know what that has to do with anything.
No, but it's
like,
true.
Love tiny.
They really do.
They clearly do.
I am not that funny, but I'm adorable. Yeah.
Sometimes I say hilarious shit and they say, fucking Tim, it's hilarious. I'm like, no. It came from me. It's tiny, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
no one looks at a bigger girl like me. They're like, you're so, oh, wait, damn, whoa, you're kind of tall. Like, I've never
big
been.
Ass.
Yeah.
That's what they
I've never been told, like, oh my God, you're so cute. Like, no one's ever looked up at me and said that. So,
they be thinking other things. Yeah.
Don't
worry, man.
Watch the show. I talk and they're like, shut your fat ass up. Nikki talks, shut your big ass up. Tim talks,
tiny. Tim has to stand on the couch next to Nikki. It's so cute that he has to do that.
Look at his little penis. So annoying.
Let me tell you, it's worked out for me.
It has.
You play to yours. You take. You got the Eminem approach in 8 Mile. Like you take what people use against you and you embrace it, and then it takes the whole sting out.
Yeah,
you're like, and they're like, well, dang, man. Like,
I said your dick is small.
And he's like, yeah.
No, I get it. I agree.
Yeah. Stop laughing, man. I said your dick is small.
I'm crying inside. Yeah. No. Yeah. Nah. And it works out, you know? And people just throw money at me. Women throw their coochies at me. Speaking of coochie, make sure we got these Goody brand shirts dropping this month.
Oh, wait. And then look at the boys' hats. Everybody look. We have merch coming. No. This is my brand.
Your brand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nikki Blades. So we have
Coochie sweaters, Goody brand.
That's for the boys, and then that's mine.
Do not confuse the coochie with the Nikki.
Yeah.
She's not doing coochie. Goody's doing coochie.
It's Nikki's, not Nikki's coochie.
Yeah.
Nikki's hats.
Yeah, Nikki don't got a coochie.
No.
But Goody got coochies.
Right.
And it's good.
Exactly.
Something.
Yeah.
Look at, that's exactly how.
Nikki head. When you think of Nikki,
right,
head,
Nikki head. And then when you think of goodies, think of coochie. And when you think of Kev, think of Jesus.
But back to Jesus. Look. But actually, let's tie it all together real quick. First of all, I was gonna say your wife is so funny, and intelligent, because when we were on The Bald and the Beautiful, we were talking about something. She said something, right? Some relationship type vibe, and I was like, is she reading from a textbook?
Right.
How does she just communicate like
she
this?
freaking like, man, I don't even know how to describe it. She is enveloped in relationship stuff. She reads books, podcasts. She learns it. So she always, like, the thing I like the most about her, she always wants to know what she's talking about and have it backed up. Like she's not just talking out of her butt, outside of her neck. She wants to know what she's talking about. So it flows freely as if she's teaching it.
It was crazy.
But she's like a teacher by nature almost. Like she used to teach at Sunday school adult women. And they'd be like, man, girl, you killing it. Help me more with my husband. Like, you 45. Yeah, I know. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I think she'll be like how Michelle Obama is like, she killing right now. She's just like, essence and books and like that's how I feel like Melissa.
Barack ain't doing nothing but shooting jump shots.
Bruh, literally, that's what we do. We were so happy about that.
We were.
He hit that jump. We were like, that's my
talking about, baby.
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't retweet it, but I liked it.
A like is like a retweet now.
Because if people want to be nosy, because they'll see
No, it goes in it goes into your timeline just
On
like
Twitter?
yeah, it'll pop up.
It'll be like
That's so
Tim
annoying.
like, yeah, because you're liking it to be like, nah.
Yeah, I be seeing some of the stuff you like. I'm like, do you know I can see this?
I don't like dirty stuff. I like weird stuff.
Yeah.
Because I like a lot of stuff that I plan on retweeting later, or because I know it'll be like, oh, I make a little joke about this, it'll go crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of weird stuff in
I'm
there.
kind of scared opening up Twitter at times because I've opened before and I've seen somebody retweet or like something, like you said, and it pop up, and I was like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, that's happened a lot. And I have my kids in the back, and they're like, "Hey, what is that?"
Yeah.
I see the butt jiggling. I'd be like, hey, it was on autoplay.
It was one of Tim's videos. I'm sorry. But you know what? And to take it back to the dirty shirts and your wife, she got into she was wearing a shirt the other day, and I seen people mad in her comment.
Wait. Tell me. What? I don't know.
Okay, Nikki, let me set the stage for you.
Please, let me know.
So, one of her homegirls is a sexologist, and she has a shirt that says "It's the clit for me," and it has like a little diagram picture of a clitoris. Yeah. And so my wife was wearing it to the dentist. So like
that's my favorite part.
Right. Now, the context people don't have is because of COVID, the dentist is literally just me and Melissa in there. So you go, and we've been going there for years. So they know her. It's very like, it's like your barber. Like we know these people. It's not just we're not wearing out in public. So like the true content creator I am, I was genuinely surprised because this woman super conservative her whole life. So I had never seen this shirt. So when she had it, I was like, oh, well, I was genuinely shocked, but I'm like, go ahead. Yeah. Because for her, it's about, she grew up in a purity culture, virgin, being a virgin was very important. And it kind of backfired on her once she got married. Then it was like, well, shoot, all I've ever known is protect this. And I need to be a freak in the bed. And I don't really know how to do that. So she's claiming her sexuality as her own, having agency over her own body, right? That's what I thought. So I put it on my stories. Like the good content creator I am, checking the replies. I'm like, 300? Main paging it. 300 replies. And when I tell you, so I put it on Twitter first. And classic Kevin mistake, thinking one platform is the other. Twitter was like, yeah, girls, what I'm talking about, it's your body. We got you. Yeah. Instagram, a lot of people were like, somebody said that is literally porn. Wow. And it was literally clit is the shortened version of the medical term, so it's not a slang term. It's literally like peen is short for penis, right? But a lot of people had never seen that, never seen that out loud, never seen the word, didn't know for me is a meme, right? Just were like, you are a woman of God.
A heathen.
How could you? My children looked up to you.
It so blows my mind that knowing human anatomy it's just human anatomy.
Yeah, and going back to what I said earlier, just because the pastor made a penis joke, it wasn't a joke about come jiggle his penis.
Yeah. Right.
It was
why is that?
Because
you usually jiggle the ball. You don't jiggle the penis.
We'll get back to that.
We'll fill you in.
Yeah.
We're here. He tapped on me, so I was like, okay.
So
I don't know.
And it was, and for me, but I went straight to the comments because I had a feeling. But even though, because like I taking human sexuality classes in college, we had a whole week. Oh no, this was in my women's studies class. We had a whole week on masturbation in the textbooks, and it was highlighting the importance of women knowing their bodies and knowing how to pleasure themselves before letting a man pleasure you to do this and that. Yeah. And so it's like, for me, what that instantly reads is, oh, this is about your body and being comfortable with yourself and all that, right? But then I just knew that it was gonna be some people that
social media, what happens a lot of times, sure you guys know, people, if I wear this shirt, right, that means you think this shirt's okay for you to wear. And it's okay for everyone to wear. Melissa was well aware that just because she's wearing it doesn't mean you would wear it. You should wear it. Like, you can disagree with it, but people are like, you're going to hell for that. And it was like, well, hold on. Let's just, and a lot of people were like, men and women were like, I honestly didn't even know that's what it looked like. And part of her point was, if that was a penis and balls,
You would know.
you would know.
Right.
Because it is completely normal for men's bodies to be known, right? It's not normal. And Melissa was like, I didn't even know my own body. So this is also part of like me owning my own sexuality.
Yeah.
And I didn't even post it. Like, that's what she's thinking. Like, Kevin posted that. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't ask her. Well, actually, I did. I said, can I put it in my story? But I never asked her to put it on the main page.
Here's the thing, too, that I commented. God made clitorises.
Yeah.
People forget simple things like that.
But it is mind-blowing how much people don't know about themselves.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. They're so angry about what they don't know, so then they have to be mad at you because you told me something that I should have already known, but now I feel stupid, so I'm upset.
Yes.
And it just shows you what restriction does.
Yeah.
Like, all that restriction, because whoever said that was porn, they got horny. They read
It's
that
a reaction.
and got turned on.
Yes.
Oh,
It's a clip.
she's talking about that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it made them feel away. So then it's
Right.
like, oh, nah, you making me feel, nah, something's wrong with you. And it's like, damn, you've been that restricted that
Yeah.
the word on a shirt can make you feel that way.
Just the word on a shirt. So she did a whole podcast episode about it, and she doubled down. And I always caution against the double down, but in this time, the double down was necessary.
Totally.
And sometimes you just got to be like, bro, if you don't like it, that is cool.
Yeah.
Like, this is my social media.
Yeah.
Totally.
Like, you don't have to like it. You're not me. What happens a lot of time is because people feel like they know you, they feel like they know what you should be posting, and you change, and
It's the pedestal.
right.
It's the pedestal. I can only imagine, especially with any talk about religion, the pedestals that everybody else is placing you guys on is crazy.
Yeah. It's an altar.
And I don't want that. I will purposely offend people every once in a while.
Right.
Just to be like, man, he did that and I didn't like it. Good. Because you should be feeling that way, because I'm just a person on social media.
Exactly.
You should not like everything that I do. You should not agree with everything that I don't agree with me all the time.
Right.
I'd be like, Kev, you're gonna eat right. And then you'd be like, Chick-fil-A, like, you know what, you deserve a milkshake. Like, so I get it. And I'm okay with you disagreeing. I'm okay with you unfollowing. Because guess what? I've been on social media, since MySpace, that's what, 2008 or something like that? It's 2012, that's 12 years.
Yeah.
I'm not even the same person I used to be. So
You
if you are
shouldn't
still
be.
the same person that you were when you started following me, you might not like this version of me.
Right.
Because I'm dealing with that a lot with like the Keep Your Distance comedy show, right? Especially the first couple shows, because I decided I wanted all comedians and I didn't want to censor them.
Right.
I wanted them to tell their jokes the way they tell their jokes and let the audience decide who they like and dislike.
Word.
So I have a lot of church people and they were pissed.
Because they were there.
They were watching. They're cussing. And I told first FAQ, this is not for kids. It's 18. These people are going to be cussing. People don't read. And then they get mad at you that they didn't read what you told them to read. And I was like, you know what? For me, it's more important to give people opportunities than it is for Christian people to be like, this is perfectly designed for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not enough Christian comedians in the world to make a show. There's no business model just making that. And there's more content out there. And this is the last thing. Here's the truth.
Tell us the truth.
The people will watch cussing content anyway.
Facts.
They will watch everything else on the internet, listen to every.
Don't
from you.
want it from
Yeah.
you.
And I'd be like, nah, I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm not.
We cussing. Ooh, let me be your like Obama. I got you, bro.
Let me tell you, one time I was it was the night before leaving for like a youth retreat. So, and my youth pastor, like for whatever reason, like I was staying at their house because the shit was leaving early the next day, all right? And so they just had me in the living room, sleeping on the couch, and I was watching Liar Liar. And because that was one of their like movies they had. And so Pastor Dan like came out specifically because he saw what part I was on. He was like, oh, hold on, I gotta watch this part. And it was the part where Jim Carrey seen the girl with the titties in the elevator because that was his favorite part, and he was cracking up. Yeah. And I was like, Pastor Dan laughing at some titties right now.
You know what titties is? Oh shit!
All of a sudden he came cool.
Find out.
Got a little bit cooler that day. You were like, I like you.
Let me ask you something though. Since Melissa was at the dentist when when this happened, and all these comments were coming in, did her feelings get hurt?
Oh, Tim. I love that.
Thank you.
Yes. You know me and you on the dad joke.
I know.
That was good.
That's actually a dad joke I use. It's whenever anyone brings up the dentist, I'm using an excuse to make that joke.
That's why I had an LMA one. LMA went to the dentist because she was in her feelings. Deep in.
Yeah.
Ayo.
So I learned that joke from my junior, senior year. He was like my economics teacher or my social something teacher. And it was this dude, I forget his name, but I always used to go to sleep in his class because he knew I was getting good grades. And I would sit there, I would go right to sleep. Like every morning he'd be like, all right, we're going to start on page 5. Tim's going to go to sleep and we're going to, but we were cool. You know what I'm saying? And I remember one day he made this joke. He was like, yeah, no, I don't feel good too good. I don't feel too good. I just came back from the dentist. My dentist's so mean. He always hurts my feelings. And I died. But in the class, it was crickets. Because this school was like...
Tim woke up all of a sudden.
Yeah, pretty much. Because the school was, like Paramount, it was like cholos. And it was like, you know what I'm saying? So no one was effing with the dad
He was like,
joke.
we didn't go to the dentist. What are you talking
But I was
about?
like, yo!
Everybody else is like, a what?
I don't get it.
I don't get it. What's so funny? Why are you laughing so
I
hard?
took that with me for life, bro.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So you're doing the keep your distance comedy.
Yeah.
You know what, man? I'm like, look, I've been debating. How long are the sets?
10, 12 minutes.
Whoa.
We'll do 3 to 5 if you're thinking about coming over.
That's a long.
Let me get a 5 together and practice it on your
Please.
thing. Yeah.
Please. Yes.
Just for fun,
Tim.
Yeah.
Like that, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Like I was really taking it serious, like but it's behind a paywall. So if you bomb, we'll be like, had to be there. Well, nothing's gonna happen. Especially because you're not like, I'm a comic and my comic's comic
Right.
and I'm coming for your throne. Like, it's gonna have a good time, man.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna open it up with I don't normally do this, but bounce.
Yeah, I was about to say, go ahead, I'll hit him off with a little preview of my 5 minutes. Now, I'm not trying to be a comedian,
They're like, boo, no R. Kelly.
but my shirt's not comedian.
Man.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my god!
Let me know, Tim. I'm gonna have you. I'm gonna pull up.
Yeah, I mean, I've been debating. Because because every once in a while a joke will come to mind. I'm like, I'll write that down. And I think I did maybe like an open mic once or twice.
Yeah.
And I definitely enjoyed it. Some of them hit, some of them didn't. But that's what happens. Right.
I think you could excel at comedy. Comedy is the mix of a couple of different social skills. It's stage presence, timing, reading a room, and one of the most important is personality, likability. Like people are like, I like this guy. You'll go so much further if the audience is like, yeah, this guy gets it.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the first things the producer, one of the producers Wildin' Out told us was like, if you can get it to a point where the audience likes you before you even say anything, that's all you got to do. You know what I'm saying? He was like, Cat Williams, he would just walk out. They would already.
On the walkout. Like when you did the women. Tiny helps.
Yeah.
Like the when we spit lines to women, I've seen some of your close posts. When you're walking up, they're already laughing.
That's 100% what I'm trying. Like, yeah, because and even when I finally fell into doing the like, sup, boo, all that, it was like, all right, this is all set up funny. You feel me?
Yeah. That's kind of where I've gotten with my audience. That's actually why Eddie Murphy stopped doing comedy. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
He said on Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee, he was saying that people were laughing at everything, whether it was funny or not. And he was like, I I can't tell if this is even funny or not. Like, if it sucks, I need it to suck. I need y'all to not laugh so that I know when it hits, it really hits. Most comedians would have never let that be a reason.
Like, please don't stop my check.
Chris Tucker,
I will
man.
take all of
He's
that.
like, yeah, keep laughing.
Yes, they do the same joke. It doesn't matter. It won't change nothing.
You know, that's kind of part of why I didn't get into stand up when people were telling me to at the height of the YouTube stuff. When a lot of like social media YouTubers were filling comedy clubs just off the name and getting bags, I didn't want that necessarily.
Yeah.
I didn't want people just laughing just because they liked me.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to respect the art of it. You
Like
feel
the
me?
crap. And that's only lasts for 5 minutes. Like your celebrity will get you in the door, it'll sell those tickets.
Right.
If you're doing 45 minutes, they're gonna give you 5 minutes of grace. And the next 40 better be good. And most people aren't like you. They're like, I'll take the money. Go ahead, Nick.
How do you feel about seeming like everybody gets a Netflix special?
You know, I honestly, here's the truth. This is the absolute truth. I get it. Like Hollywood people, the biggest mistake people forget, it's a business. They don't really care if like Amy Schumer, right? She always gets a lot of flack. But Netflix isn't a Amy Schumer fan. People are Amy Schumer fans. So they know their data says if I get this special, our information tells me that these people will either subscribe or my subscribers will watch it.
Right.
So I get it. I get why they do it. I get why they don't hit people up like me. I just want, and for me lately, I've been about creating my own space for my stuff and people like me.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why I'm working on this app because there's not enough Netflixes in the world for all the comedy that's out there.
Right.
And you're not going to beat Netflix at their game. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not going to beat Walmart at selling a little bit of everything.
Right.
But you can say, I'm going to sell high quality this, or I'm going to have a lot of this type of thing. And that's kind of what we'll do. And like, again, if there's people who want to watch it, Netflix business model works. And if they say, hey, Nikki Blake, like Sarah Cooper, for example, she blew up this year specifically for doing TikToks of Trump.
Yes, her. Yes.
Yes, loved them.
Yeah.
She got a Netflix special. Girl, I'm not mad.
Yeah.
It was highly produced. And she didn't even do stand-up. It was like
It was like
sketch show.
I watched it.
It was like an hour-long sketch.
Yeah.
Yeah, it never even went.
Yeah.
I
You
thought she
didn't
was
see
going
it
to go
yet?
on the stage.
No, it
She
was
never went on the stage.
It's almost like you're waiting for the break.
Yeah.
Because, well, being a fan of sketch comedy shows, I love Dave Chappelle. I think the Chappelle Show is a prime example of what a sketch comedy show is. Least going on and off and on. I thought she was going to cut at some point, but it was almost like you got to go into it knowing that it's a show, movie thing.
It's closer to a movie.
It's more of a movie because there's like a
Interesting.
beginning and it's not an episode. Well,
It kind
Landed.
of it goes somewhere.
It was a totally different thing than I ever seen.
When you watch it, you'll get why we sound confused.
Okay. But
I'm happy that she got it.
did you like it?
I'm really happy that she got her opportunity. It wasn't my cup of tea.
Word.
But this is an internet problem, right? When you fall in love with somebody for doing one specific thing, she can't do those sketches for an hour. She did her Trump ones on there. I guess because I didn't know what to expect, it was hard to gauge because it was a special, so I was expecting her to come out on stage and tell jokes.
Yeah.
And then I thought when she opened, I was like, okay, some comedy specials, they do like a 5-minute opening and then they tell jokes.
Right.
And then like 30 minutes in, I was like, maybe she's not going to the stage
It
at all.
feels like, what am I watching? Because you'll see the clips of it and you'll be like, yes, I know that part. And you'll see it. And then you're like, what else is happening right now? There's a storyline that's kind of strange. You just have to watch from beginning to end and make your own.
And she's
judgment.
actually a stand-up comedian.
Is she?
That is funny. I've seen her clips.
You wouldn't have gotten that from.
No,
you
but
wouldn't have gotten that
Netflix
at
went
all.
into like, I think what they thought is, if you know her for this, you're going to want to see something like this. You might not want to see her on stage. So
Maybe it was her. If she
Or maybe it's her.
stand up and they approached her, she maybe was like, "Okay, I'm down, but I got something."
When you
I
see
will
the,
do."
that's a good point.
but when you see the actors that are in it, you kind of understand why they went the way they went.
yeah, she got cameos from literally everywhere.
Crazy.
Word.
Yeah.
Maya Rudolph, like
Man.
literally.
Meg the Stallion.
Meg
in the
the
beginning
Stallion
of it.
is in it. It was
Yeah.
like, but I love it. I think that the more people who come in that are not like, I don't want to say establishment comedians, but like it'd be a lot of times the same people getting the same opportunities over and over.
Yeah.
So I want new people to get it, even if it's not me, and if it's not for me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's more important to me for other creators to be like, you know, if hers does well, then they might say, hey, what about this guy or that person?
Right.
And then, you know, the rest of us might have a chance to make a lot of money.
Tell us about your app.
So, KevOnStage Studios, the app, is coming this Christmas. It's basically me being tired of being in Hollywood, trying to pitch to old white people what's funny and good to black people, and having them. I had this is the like thing that turned my whole mind. In a pitch, and a white dude, I was pitching a show about a black church, and he was like, I don't know if black people will get that, and I was like,
I love how they haven't stopped doing that. That's
Just
been the
really
thing
like-
for 40 and they still do it.
You who've never been to a black church, you like that's literally what I was like, and he has the power
Yeah.
to like say yes or no to that. And then I thought, why am I even pitching in there? What are you going to do for middle America? What about the hardworking red-blooded
He
American?
said that?
Yes.
So, pitch meetings are so
Worst,
It's
Tim.
just they never go where you think they're gonna go. Ugh.
The worst. So I was like, why am I killing myself trying to do this when this show's not for middle America? You know what they're trying to say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
What are regular white people going to get out of this?
Yeah.
Well, hey, guys, newsflash, this ain't for them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of TV shows that are not for me that I like. The Office isn't for me. It's not marketed towards me. Game of Thrones, HBO's not like, nah, black dudes in
Right.
Washington are going to dig this.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite shows ever. Breaking Bad, like, people like stories. They don't have to be their stories. They're willing to learn about new worlds. It doesn't have to be their world.
Totally.
But people don't like, a lot of times people in Hollywood in power don't think white people have the ability to do that. But they know minorities and marginalized people have to do that, right? So I just said, forget all that. I'll be doing my own thing.
Smart.
Movies. I've been trying to tell Tim to do a movie for a long time. He's like, I just got to write it, dog. Just got to write it.
10 pages in, Kev.
He only need 90 to 110 more. But yeah, I just feel like for me, it's about, I don't want to play. I never really have played the game the way the game has been played. Even my stand-up, I didn't do the like hang outside the Comedy Store. And that wasn't out of like not wanting to. My wife, when we moved here, she was like, let me tell you what you're not finna do. You're not finna be out till 2 or 3 a.m. and I'm in a new city.
Right.
We got 2 young kids. I'm nervous. You're not, and we lived in the valley. She was like, you're not finna be doing all that.
Yeah.
Because in Washington, I was doing 4 or 5 shows a week, but she had other people, sisters and all that type of stuff. So I was like, well, I got to do the internet. And I, that's how I got on. And this is kind of what I'm doing. Like, and it's not for lack of trying. I've taken a general with every freaking network in this city, met all the casting agents, did all the audition, pitched to everyone, TV, movies, podcasts, audio only. Like, I spent the whole last 2 years doing that.
Right.
Nothing. And the pitch meetings, I love that. Whoa. And nothing ever got done.
Right.
So I'm like, why am I going to leave all these ideas on the table if I can make them?
Yeah.
So my plan now is make them and either keep them on my app or license them, get, paid from them, and then make more stuff like that. And then focus on that. And then, because I feel like now my kids don't consume the way we consumed.
Not at all.
They're not like, we coming up, Ninja Turtles comes on at 3:30.
Yes.
If you get home at 4:03, it's off.
Right.
You're not, and you know what channel it comes on and all that stuff.
And
now
we're all watching the same thing.
Yeah.
we're all watching the same thing. Now this is the craziest thing, and you guys will get this as YouTubers. My son doesn't even subscribe to anyone on YouTube.
Really?
He only watches what's recommended.
No.
His recommended tells him. So, if you watch a couple of people over and over, they recommend more to you.
Yeah.
So he didn't even realize.
Strong.
The algorithm is telling him what he wants to like. You like Minecraft? Here's the people that are recommended. And then when his new people upload, it recommends to him more.
Wow.
So I was like, who you subscribe to? He was like, I don't subscribe. I just watch my
He
recommended.
said, what's that?
Yeah.
He had no
Like the
idea.
people aren't people.
They're
Wow.
not.
Content.
It's just content.
Oh, like you're just scrolling through TV.
Just like TV.
Wow.
Literally, just the thumbnail, the title, what they see is what. And now my older son is a little bit different. He's like, I like these creators, or I like watching this content. So I'm like, there's no reason to like, I gotta get on this channel.
Right.
I gotta get on BET
Yeah.
or MTV or HBO, they don't consume like that.
No.
And they're going to be the people who are going to be watching in 5 years. They're going to be like, oh, I like it. But on the like Let's Plays that he watched, he like, oh, I like this guy.
Yeah.
So I'll watch all of his videos. And that's what I'm banking on. There's more people like that are like, don't care about networks and, stuff like
And
that.
if you build it, they will come.
Listen, and I guarantee you, this app starts working, then Hollywood will be like, oh. And I think that's part of the reason they have those meetings with you.
They
So if
steal
you
an
blow
idea.
up, they can come back and be like, you know what? You did pitch me that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what'll mess you up with that algorithm is me and Rick like to hate watch and cringe watch.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, look at this bullshit.
Dumbass.
And then it's like you watch a whole one of those, and now this dude is all on
that.
you.
God damn it.
YouTube is like, oh, you like this?
Yeah.
More.
Like, really? We haven't have anyone to send this
Because
to.
the algorithm doesn't care whether they don't know if you hate watch it or love watch it. They just know that you are watching it.
I guess we got a dislike now. After you watch.
Isn't that crazy that like even the music industry, in terms of like, a record can go platinum if people are just listening to see if they hate it because they hate it or because it's trash.
Yep.
You get a platinum record.
Rebecca
because,
Black.
Yeah. Or
She
Every
came
Day
on
Bro.
TikTok and was like, yep, that was me.
Yeah.
Catch my check.
She totally has rebranded
Oh,
herself.
yeah.
Oh, and
She's
she-
likable. She's likable.
She's likable and she can sing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
It
did
really
good.
wasn't her fault. I actually
No,
watched a lot
not
of
at
her.
all.
No,
Not at all.
13.
but
We
if
were
she,
really hard on her.
if she made that song now, it would just be one of those. Okay, we listen to it, then you toss it out because
It would be
she would
a
just be
doggone
tossed.
TikTok
Yeah,
phenom.
that would be it. And then it'd be like, okay, on to the next one.
Yeah.
I had a pitch meeting. I ever told you about that lady that said some reckless Asian things to me without even realizing she's being reckless?
No.
Have I told it on this show? Probably.
I don't think so.
I don't
Okay,
care,
maybe
man.
not.
This is for
okay.
me.
Yeah, true. So I had a pitch meeting with another producer homie, and we had a whole thing that we were gonna pitch about Asian dude dating a black girl. Like it's just, like loosely based on me and Chia, right? But it was gonna be more like crazier situations. So we were gonna be like in the South where maybe like it wasn't as diverse and whole situation like that, right? And she was gonna be, I don't want to say too much of it, someone's take my idea, but
Somebody's like, ugh.
but there was a part there was a part of it where my mom's like cooking dinner for us, and she's cooking some like food that maybe like if you never had it before, some Asian stuff the smell can be kind of crazy. The fish sauce can be a little crazy at first,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we were building this scenario for her where like there's this awkward dinner and she's not used to the food, and so this lady I was pitching to, a white, she was like, oh no, that's great, and then like the girl will come home and like the family will be cooking dog or whatever, and I was like,
Oh my God.
First off, she needs to get her.
Dog?
bruh. And in my head, I was like, I stopped in my head, but of course you're in the meeting, so you're like, right. But and then like you don't, and then I realized, let's say I'm spitballing jokes with somebody, like yeah, that's a thought, but it's like, bro, I'm talking to you about a real
Scenario.
a real
Talking about
scenario.
Pat
Yes.
do you? It's like regular.
And in her head, she's like, no, totally. Really?
Oh no.
Yeah.
I had so many experiences like that. That was like, working on a pilot we had sold to YouTube, and well, I didn't sell it, but I was directing it, and watching them take out every funny culturally specific joke. Like, oh, they won't get that. You don't get it.
Yeah.
And it's not for you to get.
Right.
But the people who are watching it will get it.
Yeah.
So then they took everything funny out of it. And then they were like, and then people like, this is not funny. Well, but when they're the network, that's the thing I had to swallow.
Yeah.
When they pay for it,
Yeah.
you can fight and kick. But when you got no leverage, I said, take it out and put it back in again, and I'll pop your hand. And like, so it was like, dang, like you really can't tell the story the way you want to.
Yeah.
And then you're blamed if it sucks now.
Right.
So I'm like, so that's all been happening over the last, 5-6 years, where I've just been like, nah.
And
that's why I love the internet.
Yeah. The internet shows you that you're wrong.
Yeah, every
All
day.
these little white kids or anybody, they're all liking the same shit.
Yep.
They all get the same jokes.
Yeah.
They make the same jokes. They use the same slang. Everybody's saying nigga. Like, they get it.
I'm not though, just for the record.
He's lying. I have video proof.
No.
I'm not joking. I'm joking. Kevin Hart.
Tim is like, oh,
stop,
thank you.
Rick,
That was
stop.
another podcast.
Oh my god!
Oh, that was a long time. No,
I'm not joking.
But it's like the shirt.
Mhm.
It's the clip for me. If you know, you know, because that's one of the things on TikTok that there's so many. It's the gray sweatpants for me.
Everything.
I told somebody about gray sweatpants that they were older, and they were like, I was all, you're wearing gray sweatpants in that picture. He's like, yo, this is like 10 years old. I'm all, you don't get the, no. God, you know what? Never mind.
He was like, oh, young lady, so you're staring at my dick, huh?
Sorry about that. Woo, I didn't read the room on that one. My bad. You didn't get that nice outfit. Where's your denim jeans at?
It's about building your audience and making content for them. And so many people have killed doing that. Grateful Dead, they don't be for everybody, but the Deadheads be loving it.
So loyal.
And that's all. You don't need everybody.
Yeah.
You just need the people.
Posse.
Oh,
Bruh.
perfect example. Yes.
Yeah.
Bruh. Their fans are like, we get
They
it.
paint their face.
Bruh.
They be banking still.
Yes.
Still.
Yeah.
Bro, I always talk about Tech 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tech 9, Mac Dre, like,
Bruh, Tech 9 ranks regularly in the top 10 rappers of all rap.
I don't know a Tech 9 lyric,
Bruh.
but I understand that he's somebody.
Yeah.
To those people, one of my
Yeah.
boys is a Tech 9 fan. Bruh, never misses a concert, never misses an album, gets every merch drop. You don't need everybody. You just need the people who rock with you to really, really rock with you.
that's the secret.
That's his
That's
secret.
his- that's
And
the
he'd be like,
secret.
it'd be like Jay-Z, Kanye, Drake, Tech 9, Rick
Yeah.
Ross. Like
Crazy.
he's not top 25.
Yeah.
He's top 10.
And he ain't splitting it.
Yeah.
And that's the other
Facts.
key. Owning it 100. And that's part of the reason why I did my own comedy tour. I'll never forget this moment. It was like instrumental in my life. I was on a tour, 3 other comedians and the promoter. And all the promoter did was book the venue, right? And he would like have food for us in the green room. We had to book our own flights, hotel. We had to market the show all ourselves, right? We would split the show half to him, and then I would split with 2 other comedians.
Damn.
So one time to try to entice, because what happened is a couple other comedians were like, I ain't really promoting like that. The money's good already.
Okay.
So we were in Texas. He was showing us the Dallas, Houston, and San Antonio numbers. And he had showed us, and it was like 30 grand, 28 grand, 16 grand. He was like, if we just push this, we'll clear 40 in every city. And I saw that. I was like, you're getting half of all this
For doing.
for just booking the venue? And the venues were like,
paying for my flight,
Rick,
guy.
and the venues were like $800.
Yeah.
And he couldn't market it without us.
Damn.
So back in the day, the promoter took all the risk on.
Uh-huh.
Venue, radio, flight. Like,
Yeah.
so I get it a little more.
Right.
But right now, I got to do all the work. And I said, I don't need to sell 1,200 seats if I don't have to split it half
100%.
and then a third.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? I could sell 200 seats if I'm getting all of it. And that was my last tour that I didn't own. I said, bro, I can do 200 in this city. And then luckily I had all these fans at church. They was giving me the church for free. So I could pay my comedians more and and I covered everything.
Yeah.
Flight, hotel, food, rental car, keep your merch, all that.
You know what's crazy is that there's still people that can hear that and would be like, but I don't want to do the work.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
All
that
the
part
time.
I can't.
that's
There's
on
nothing
you.
I can do
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, because I feel like some people are just built different, and I could not allow
Once you saw the numbers, you were like, wait. That
The
could
worst thing he
all
could ever
be
did.
mine.
Yeah.
worst thing he could have ever done in his life.
I love letting people do stuff for me. Yeah.
Are you-
Yeah. I could do more of that. I should probably do that.
Yeah.
Could
But
damn.
but the thing is, what's different with him is he makes still enough, more than enough. So
Tim?
he don't feel it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there's other people like, so I be producing merch for other people. right?
Yeah.
But I do it in a way where you got to work. But I'm doing this so that I'm not taking half of your money.
Right.
You're going to pay me a fee for my services,
Yep.
but you're going to pay for your shit up front. So when it comes in, you're not splitting any of that.
Yes.
They don't want to do that because that means they now have to go look at shit and pick shit.
People
I'm
don't wanna
like-
do that.
Yeah, I'm like, you literally just picking something. I'm still doing the work.
So would they rather
Yeah.
split with you and you do more?
They would rather go somewhere where they don't do anything but approve designs and
That's
shit.
how all the merch companies make all their bread.
Yeah.
Exactly, because they say, okay, once we recoup, then we'll split 50, but they never tell you the cost.
Right.
So it can cost them $700 to make, but they say it costs $1,200.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, because I'm working with the merch company, and unfortunate for that. Make yourself comfortable.
I was like, I'm going to be professional.
Make
but-
yourself comfortable.
Ooh,
but
Jesus.
but you know, like, but like Rick was saying, the thing is that I understand how to read and I know business. So I was able to negotiate a deal that made sense for my lifestyle and with the company. Because when they sent me over the initial contract, I sent it back 4 times before we agreed on anything. And the problem that they were like, oh shit, she read it.
Yeah.
Because they were doing stupid mistakes like highlighting clauses that weren't even in there. They're like, refer back to this, this, and this. And I said, okay, so I'm gonna send this back to you. We went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And on the final, I said, I need approval of all the pricing before everything goes through. Don't print one thing without me knowing. So it's like how Rick said, some people just don't want to do the work. But if you know how to read, you can always get what you need done.
And the thing is, when we first moved to LA, I knew how to read, but not a contract.
Yeah. It's a skill.
And I think we all got fucked in.
Yeah.
The biggest mistake I ever, being so hungry to get here and get paid, I didn't realize the first contract, no one expects you to sign.
No.
They are like, you signed the first thing heavily. Everything is on their
I have an employment lawyer now. I have a lawyer now because of that mistake. And I would never make it again. But there's something so empowering about going, oh, that's cute. You think I'm stupid. Sorry, I'll CC my lawyer on this. Okay, love you, bye.
Yeah. And they be writing them doggone contracts hard on purpose. I'd be like, e pluribus unum. What? I'm like a Harry Potter.
What section is this?
All I need to see is the word exclusive, and I'm banking.
Oh, no.
Out.
I just run it up, dog. I'm exclusive and I run that shit.
You want exclusivity.
Man, I
You know
read.
there's a price to pay with exclusivity.
Ooh, I read one clause in a contract that says that I would not seek out legal representation or have anybody else read this contract, and I will be signing on my own free will.
What?
Yes, it said that in there, and I went, "Oh hell no!" But it was like tucked in, and so. Again, having that done, signed a stupid contract before, never again.
Hey, we don't want you to understand what's going on.
Yes.
here.
Sign this thing that says you will sign without understanding.
Yes. I was like,
Wow.
oh God.
Well, Kev, thanks for the drop in knowledge.
Oh,
And,
so
Sure.
much.
Thanks for having me, man. I didn't want to ask to be on again, but I was like, all right, man. I didn't see a lot of people come on.
Fourth host.
Yeah, I was like, man.
Get guests from now on. We just don't have Kev on here.
Yeah, man, pull me up.
Anything else that you want to plug
We have to
before
have the
you
missus
out?
on one time.
She would love it. She's a big fan of Tim. She really secretly loves people who are married. She's like, he's married, he's safe. Or long-term relationship.
Let's do
I think everybody else a bad influence.
facts.
Makes sense, yeah.
Let's do a double dinner date. I will get Chia a clit shirt as well.
Hilarious. She
It'll
likes
be-
Chia as well.
Yeah, you and me will get foreskin shirts. It'll be great.
It's the foreskin for me.
Oh, that movement would be hilarious.
Oh, man.
Oh, no, it's not a crazy movement. You just pull it back. Thank you all for watching No Chase Podcast. I'm Tim Chantarangsu.
I'm Ricky Shucks.
Wait, did Kev plug his things?
Oh, I've talked about everything.
Okay.
And the ending was so great, Nikki.
Yeah, Nikki fucking
Nikki,
ruined
I got to
just
check.
life right there.
Listen,
Damn.
I just wanted my 5 minutes. And
But
I'm
I
late. Thank
appreciate
you
it.
guys.
Kev on stage.